Breathe in, breathe out. And if you want to, you can start to make those circles bigger. Breathing in and breathing out. Okay, and now you can start to go the other way with the circle in the other direction. You can change pens if you want to. Close your eyes. Try not to pause in between, just let each breath flow into the next breath. And you can allow those circles to get bigger as your breaths get longer. And now you can swap hands. So you want to start drawing with your wrong hand, the hand that you're not used to drawing with, and keep going with those circles. You can start really small this time so that you've got space to get bigger. Okay, now you can go in the other direction and change pen if you want to. So the pen is following the breath. The breath isn't following the pen. You're not trying to control your breathing at all. You're just allowing it to do what it does, and you're just watching it with your pen. And your circle can start to get larger as your breaths get longer. Okay, and you can stop there. So use some more circles. Sometimes with these drawings they look like scribble or nothing, but you can kind of go back into them and work into them. Oh, nice. I like them. Yeah, Sarah.
Your mugs are very lovely and colourful.
Nice. Okay. Do you want to do the box drawing as well? Or do you want to go straight to shoes? People are like, oh, she's giving us choices. That doesn't happen.
I like box drawing.
Who said that? Box drawing?
I like it, but...
Okay, let's do it. Let's do 4 minutes of the box drawing.
Box drawing too.
Okay, nice. So the box drawing is comes from a meditation technique that is box breathing, and with box breathing, you're breathing in on 1, noticing a pause between your breaths on 2, and then breathing out on 3, and then noticing a pause between the breath on 4. So it's breathe in, pause, breathe out, pause, and you're drawing the box along with that. And it can be a little bit difficult if you've never done it before, but the main thing is to just not try to control your breath too much. It's more that the pen is following the breath. Okay. I'm gonna go this pen this time. Okay, and then when the bell goes, you'll start to go the other way. Oh no, not the other way. You'll go with your other hand when the bell goes. Okay, ready? Go. So close your eyes again. Breathe in. Breathe out. not trying to hold your breath or stop your breath at all. You're just noticing the length of any gap between your breath in and your breath out. Okay, so you can swap your pen to your other hand. And breathe in. Notice that gap. Breathe out. Notice that gap. Notice how each breath flows into the next, and don't try to change it. Okay, you can stop there. Okay. That's my boxes for today. Ooh, nice. Yeah, I love them. Okay. So yeah, that's a nice little one that you can do. It's quite good to do also if you're in a boring meeting or something, because it really looks like you're working, but you're just breathing and focusing on your breath. Okay. Alright, so now we're going to start to draw our shoes, and what we're going to start by doing is using a lighter colour if you've got one. I'm going to go with this neon, more about the neon recently. This is my pen. But also we went to the supermarket and Mum bought some really good felt tips. Mum, show us your felt tip packet. They were like Star Leader something, but they had really good, one end was thick and one end was thin, and they were all different colours. Yes, hold them closer to the camera, Mum. But yeah, so that type of thing is ideal. And they were only like £4 as well, so they were super cheap. So yeah, that type of thing is really good to do this with. So I'm going to go with a lighter colour. And what we're going to start by doing, this is blind drawing, remember, so we are not looking at our page. So you might find it useful just to kind of scoot your page over to one side so that it's not directly in your line of sight between you and the object you're drawing. So I'm going to be drawing kind of like this, and I'm not looking at my page because whatever happens on the page is a happy accident. It's the result of the process, and the process is a natural one that we don't need to control or overanalyze or overthink. We just need to follow what we can see, and similar to the breath drawing, every time our eyeball moves, our hand moves. So the hand is following the eyeball, not the other way round. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, so what we're going to start, and we're also going to kind of layer this drawing up layer by layer. Maybe we'll do one really quick one to start off with. So this will be, we'll do one really quick 2-minute line drawing, and that's going to be like kind of a rough one. I've got a piece of paper I can do it on. So we'll do a super quick, just a 1-minute drawing of your shoes. So you're going to work fairly quickly with this one and just try and capture as much detail as you can on the shoes. But what we're doing is we're practicing looking more than we are drawing. Okay, so one minute. So this is super quick. Ready, go. So you're just trying to capture quickly and roughly the shape of the shoes. You might get a few details in there, you might get a few lines. You haven't got time to go into anything in depth, you just need to roughly capture the shape. There you go, stop. There's mine. So yeah, really rough, quick line drawing, just so you gather the shape. Ooh, I like that one, Helen. Nice. Okay, cool. So we'll go on to a bit of a slower drawing. Now that you've seen that you can capture the object really quickly if you want to, we're going to go slower. So you are going to take your pen in ideally a fairly light colour, And this time we're not going to be doing a line drawing, we're going to be going for very specific detail. So what we're going for is patches of light, and before when we've done light, we've done it with mark making, but this time we're going to do it in a very simple way. So what you're going to be drawing are patches of light. So for example, I've got this shiny bit on the shoe at the front here, and I'm going to essentially go around the outside of the patch of light and try and capture what shape is that patch, and then I'm going to try and colour in or fill in the patch. So essentially what you're drawing is blobs like this. And that's all you're drawing, is just blobs of light at the beginning. And just pay attention to kind of how you're filling in that blob, so that you're not filling it halfway and then filling it half again, if that makes sense. You're trying to capture the whole blob with a single stroke like that, if that makes sense. Is that cool? Okay, so you are going to start drawing your light patches now. Remember not to look at the page. And those light patches might be hard to find, but every object has them. Some places are lighter than others. It depends where your light source is in your room. So start by just going around the blob. What shape is that blob? And then try to fill it in. So there might be hidden shapes in the blob. If you've got a media that's a bit softer, then you can press harder where the areas are lightest, and then take the pressure off as the light fades. It's okay if you lose your place, you can start anywhere on the page again. So you can stop there, and then you want to grab a different pen or pencil or whatever it is. Ideally something in the middle, so something Ideally it's not black, but it's darker than the colour that you just used. So I'm going to go with green, I think. Yeah. And we're going to do the same type of blobs, but we're going for the darker areas. So you start with the very darkest areas of the shoe, and then you build it up from there. So the same thing with those blobs. So you start by outlining where is that dark patch and what shape is it, and then you're going to fill it in. And you're continuing to not look at the page while you do it. Okay, ready? Go. And it doesn't matter if your filling in doesn't correlate on the page with those lines, that doesn't matter. It's about taking the time to pay attention to how big that dark space is and follow it with your eyes. So you're just paying attention to that one thing, just the darkness on the object. There might be shadows made by the laces or the panels on the textile. So even with the laces, each bit of lace will have a light side and a dark side. So remember, first outline the shape of that darkness, and then you can start to fill it in. can stop there for the moment. Okay, so mine looks something like this. So just a lot of blobs, different colour blobs going on that are vaguely kind of shoe-shaped-ish. And now we're going to start to do some thin line drawing on top. So for this you can use a darker pen like a black, or yeah, or maybe a blue or something. So the darkest thing you've got. What am I gonna do? Gonna go sharp. Okay, and for this drawing we're gonna go for maybe 5 or 6 minutes, and this is a line drawing, and with this one we don't take our pen off the page. So the purpose of that is that if I start drawing, for example, a bit of my shoe over here, and then my eyes kind of dart around and I'm looking at the shoe up here, in order to get from A to B, I have to take in all the information along the way, basically. So that's what not taking your pen off the page forces you to pay attention to the route from A to B, so that you're not, your attention isn't darting around the object, it's following things gently and slowly. Okay, ready? So we're going to go quite slowly and do our blind line drawing. So we're still not looking at the page, and also trying not to take our pen off the page. Go. So this time you're allowed to take in those details, not just the outline of the object itself, but the outline of the details on the object. Notice the stitching. You can put that in with a dotted line, like dashes. And if you do lose your place or get distracted, you can just gently bring yourself back to the drawing. So make sure that you're not drawing what you think you can see, you're drawing what you're actually observing. also lines created where one shoe meets the other shoe. And if you've tensed up in your position, then make sure to drop your shoulders and take a breath while you're drawing. And if you get lost in thinking about the past or the future, then just bring yourself back to the feeling of the pen on the page and focus on whatever detail it is that you're drawing. It might be creases in the fabric, or the laces, or the way the textile is. You can go into detail with it. Okay, you can stop there. Okay, so this is my shoe, or shoes. So you can see it doesn't actually have to look like a shoe, but you can still kind of tell that it's a shoe just by the gestures. Okay. What was I going to say? Something. Yeah, so it's really nice to just kind of look at, when you're working mindfully, you're able to really look at all those details and pay attention to them. So I was trying to draw every stitch on the boots. So like, there are stitches, it's really hard to see. But to actually draw every stitch is actually really hard, and you have to be really mindful to do it, because your brain knows what the stitch looks like and it knows the kind of mark you want to make. It's like, yep, I know, stitch, but to actually look at each one and notice which stitch you're drawing is, difficult. So yeah, that's the practice.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, I thought I'd drawn a lot more. Looking at my drawing now, I felt like I'd drawn a lot more than I actually had in the lines. I was expecting to have gone over everything so many times, but actually it's not. Yeah, it's quite minimal.
That's good. Show me, let's see. Hang on, I'll try and take a good picture of your drawings. Oh, I need to stop this recording first. Hang on. Stop.